Okay, starting now.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I was doing gang. Wait, why are you looking at me now? It's backstage.
It's as if he wants to start today's common sense for relationship in style with echo and background noise and some other things.
Why am I hearing myself 20
I
times?
don't know. You are in control.
Wala Day Village.
It's only village that's come to Lagos.
Wala don't reach town now.
Okay, so let's see.
What's going on? All right. Some of you want to remind me that it is sisterhood we're talking about today. But the sisters allowed me to be in the hood. Be in the hood. You get it? You get it? So I am in the hood today and I'm directing traffic.
I hope you're not doing your business.
No.
Obviously, common sense for relationship.
What used to happen back in the day was that sometimes little girls would be given up in marriage, right, while they're still teenagers and so on. And what was the reason? So the reasons were the parents couldn't take care of all the children in the family, and some wonderful rich man came along and said, hey, let me marry your daughter. Of course, the bride price is going to be significant, or sometimes he would make a promise to train the other children.
And sometimes the parents is going
It should be based on your aspirations. Am I ready? Have I achieved those things I want to achieve?
Everybody's seeing us, but I don't know I'm not seeing everybody.
Okay, that's interesting. So I should stop talking.
All right. So if everybody can hear me, please, if you can hear us, just type 111 over there. If you can hear us, type 111. If you can hear us, type 111 in the chat box. If you can hear us, type 111.
Debbie thinks I cut my hair. Debbie, I did not cut my hair. Oh.
Can they hear us? Hello, everybody. Yes. Somebody can hear us. Somebody type 111. I mean, they can hear us. Finally. What? You are just sitting
right
there
now,
looking.
I'm not even sure. Okay, I can see 111 here. Thank you so much to IG people. IG is fine.
Yes, YouTube did 111. So
I'm going to move this back a
yes,
bit so that
Jerry,
everybody can see us.
Yes.
Please help us move this back.
Yes. Thank you very much.
So that they can
I was
also see Mr. Bature.
Yes, I was under pressure.
Yes, that I think
you can.
I'm going to move my chair. I'm going to be closer to you.
Me, I can also move my chair to be closer to you so that
Okay,
we're all we're all closer to each other together.
Yes, I think we're all close.
Yes.
Thank you so much, David, and everyone
Yes,
else.
we're closer to each other together. It's good like this.
On. Okay, let's go.
Yes.
So now I can officially start the show. Good evening, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Common Sense for Relationships.
Yes!
Yes, we are on. Finally, all the principalities that came from the village have left the building.
They're no fit.
No. So, my darling husband, once again, my name is still Anietie Bature.
And I am still Kingsley Bature, your friendly neighborhood coach, KGB. How now day?
And today on Common Sense for Relationships, it's still, as we always try to do, we bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your lives and in your relationships. And today, we are leaving the floor open for questions. In other words, you guys are in control. Yes, or should I say it's joint control? Yes, it's a partnership.
It's a partnership.
Yes.
You get it now.
If we could, we would introduce everyone who is on. And I guess one good way for us to do that is just to scroll through and see some of the people who came here bright and early
and have been and have been making noise in the group.
Debbie, we know you're there. You're one of the earliest people on this chat. Yes.
And Victoria, we see you. Jerry, we see you. I see Staff James, Abiodun Yunus, we see you. We celebrate you. Oludare John, we see you. Owolabi Kasua, we just want to celebrate all of you that are here early and joined the show, even when we're having technical difficulties. You are still technically partnering with us. So we're so thankful. We celebrate you.
Yes.
So those are all the early birds, and the rest we will
take as we
go. Yes,
as we go on. And
those are the early birds that put something in the chat.
Yes. We'll acknowledge the rest as we go on. So when you come in, just say hi. Let's know that you're there. And we are jumping straight into the questions because we are already 12 minutes in. Can you imagine?
How can that be now? This timer, doesn't it count technical difficulties?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. So let's fly. Anywhere you take it from.
Okay,
I will meet you on the road.
Yes. So let's see the first question we have here. And I think it might be easier for you to see from that side. I'm trying to scroll up. Somebody says the first question I see from here is from Vicky.
Yes.
Victoria Damilola. And she says, how do you know a perfect guy?
Bam! Victoria, you didn't even want to try to, dilly-dally small. She just went straight to the point.
How do you know the perfect guy? How do you know a perfect guy? And I would like to, because we are going to cut into the chase. Perfect guy, Victoria, depends a lot on you and whoever is asking the question. So peradventure, other people are asking the same question. Hi, Jesse. You have to look at yourself first to determine the perfect guy, because my perfect guy can be your terrible guy.
So that is why I was going to say that the question that says, how do you know a perfect guy? Technically, is wrong. A perfect guy does not exist. Your perfect guy, however, is the definition you are giving her now.
Yes.
Because you have just told her a perfect guy, no day, but your perfect guy. Yes. It can be terrible to everybody else, but to you,
yes. So it's for you
perfection.
To define what is right for me, and for that to happen, Vicky, you need to know yourself. We always say start there. Start by knowing yourself. And if you read my book, Husband Material, if you get to the workbook, you will find step-by-step guide that will help you to determine or to understand a little more about yourself. Who am I? What is about me? What is unique about me? My likes, my dislikes, my beliefs, my values, and so on. My dreams, my aspirations, my ambitions, all that you know about yourself, and that includes the things that you have as convictions, right? Bring all of that in to define what is it about me. And then based on that, now find out. Now call it like extrapolating, right? Like matching.
I like the
connecting
English.
The dots,
yes.
Drawing the lines. Who is a good fit for me? And that's how you come about the perfect guy. So perfect guy is not just one. It's not like a standardized person that you say this is the perfect guy for any woman. No, the perfect guy depends on the person. So Vicky, if you want to find out more, get Husband Material. And yes, for the purpose of answering it here, it depends on you. Please, Vicky, define what is it about you and who fits you perfectly. That's how you find your perfect guy.
Bam! That answer has been conclusively concluded. Okay. Jerry says, what are those factors one should consider before setting up for marriage? The question carries a sub question. It says, does love
truly fade?
Does love truly fade?
So part one is, what are those factors? And hey guys, feel free to chime in and add to the answers, right? So while we're sharing here, you feel like saying something to add, right? Go ahead and type in the chat. You're welcome to do that. So Jerry says, what are the factors one should consider before setting up for marriage? This is an interesting one, and it's broad, right? But we'll start with the simple things.
Yes,
like,
keep it simple.
Are you ready for marriage? So consider that.
Number
are you
one.
Ready for marriage? Do you want to get married? You yourself, do you have a conviction that you should get married?
True.
Because if you go in the name of popular opinion, everybody is doing it. When you get to troubled waters or when you encounter challenges, you may start saying, I beg, I beg, I beg. I'm not
yes, I'm not doing this.
Right?
Yes.
So you have to first determine, is this something I want to do? Do you have that conviction? Then you now start looking at the other parameters, things that need to be in place before you jump in and say, I want to get married. Right? Do you have the basics that you need? Are you able to take care of yourself and somebody else? Right? Are you able to deal with the requirements of marriage? Things like a home, things like a meal on a daily basis, and so on and so forth. Are you independent? Can you take decisions for yourself? Because this is another challenge.
Way you're trying to say, I hope you are still not mommy's boy.
You're not tied. You're what do you call that thing? Tied to somebody's apron string or something.
Or
right?
daddy's girl.
You're able to decide for yourself, because marriage is a union, right? It involves two people. You can't have it such that you are here, it's the two of you, and something happens, and each time you keep running to go and ask Mr. or your mentor A or parent B and so on. You need to be able to make certain decisions by yourself for yourself. And with that, there's a requirement. A number of times you need some degree of financial independence. Because a lot of times why we have people chiming into your marriage, chiming into decision making in your home, is because you have people who are dependent on others for even the financial well-being of their own home, and it becomes a challenge. So we don't need to have that problem. You need to be able to say, hey, I am able to take care of myself. I am independent to a great extent. I will be able to do marriage with the two of us, not two of us with other people interfering because we need them for the survival or the sustenance of our family. So those are some things that you need to pay attention to.
So if I would pick up from there, I would just want to stress on something that you have mentioned in all. If you trace all, you find out that there's a level of independence that keeps coming up when it comes to marriage. So there is financial independence, there is social independence, there is personal independence or personal development, personal liberation. That's personal independence. Where the decisions that you make as a person is not decided by either community or society or environment. Do you understand? So those independencies are coming. So there's also psychological independence where you are not being it's not pressure or all my friends are getting married. That's why I'm trying to get married. Do you understand? So there's a level of independence coming into play when it comes to marriage. And when you have attained those, when you can say, okay, I have been able to attain those levels of independence, then you have checked some boxes that you can begin to go.
Thank you.
And
Thank
sorry,
you so much. And something I would like to add is purpose. Someone says if the purpose of the thing is not known,
abuse is inevitable.
When it comes to even marriage, you need to know the purpose. What's the purpose? Define it. What's the purpose? If you don't know what the purpose of marriage is, find out what is marriage about, and then have your own purpose, because you need to be clear. When you're bringing someone else into the picture, you say, I want this person to become my husband, or I want this person to become my wife. Your purpose and their purpose has to be unified.
It has to align.
Yes. It cannot be that I am saying, oh, the purpose for marriage is so that I have someone who loves me, who understands me, who will stand by me through thick and thin.
And I'm saying the purpose for marriage is I want someone that can cook for me
and clean
the house
and have my children and stay at home and make sure that my house is a home.
That means that would be a very purposeful accidental relationship. That's it. Next question.
Wahala. Yes, so I hope you get that, right? We can't exhaust everything here.
Yes,
but
yes.
With these are really critical
with these few points of mine.
Okay, next
question. Next question. Okay, yeah, no, we've taken that. What should one do when you feel you are not into your partner again?
yes, let's talk about this. Then we'll go back to part 2. Remember that other question had part 2.
Does love fade?
Yes.
But I think this question is connected.
Okay, what should one do when you feel that you are no longer
into your partner?
It's now which partner now? So let's dissect it.
Okay.
Before marriage, if you're no longer into your partner, you are free to walk away. It's as
Bam.
simple as that.
Just be going.
And it's not by force.
Just be going.
It's not by force. You are free to walk away.
Okay.
Now, after marriage, where you have made commitments, where you have signed the dotted lines, where you have said I will, I do. You've done all that. You've gotten village people plus
town people.
In fact, maybe you've even gotten ancestors involved. And you are now saying you are no longer, what's that?
You're not doing it. You're not doing it again. You're not feeling it. Yes.
You have to. Someone could say, hey, just walk away also. But this is the challenge with walking away. When you walk away in that scenario, you have broken your word. That's part 1.
Okay.
You have now made yourself someone who, on a basis of feelings, you can just get up and terminate something that terminate a commitment that you made, an agreement, a promise that you made. And someone could say, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? The challenge with that is that you're probably going to go into another marriage or another union or another relationship. Is that what you keep doing whenever you don't feel like break it and start
I actually feel like this thing you're talking about now, I actually feel like if you look at it in another context,
yes,
the same way the person doesn't feel and wants to end the marriage, the question you will now be asking is, so is that how you respond to everything in life? So when you are in business, you don't feel like today you don't feel like working and you don't feel like making money. You just get poor.
You just get up.
You just get up.
Or you don't feel like going to work and then you won't go.
And you won't go.
But then you'll expect
but
that
you expect
your boss
should pay
you. What if your boss doesn't feel like paying you?
So
you have to think about this feeling. Is it
there's
feelings?
There's a lot of feelings involved.
So you have to check what manner of man am I. Am I the kind of person that is driven by feelings, or am I the kind of person that is driven by convictions? And that my word is my bond, that I can stay true to what I have said. You know about commitments and you honor them. Because it will also determine how people look at you. Are you the kind of person that, I beg, when he says something, please leave that one, he's driven by his feelings? Or is this kind of person that I said, so I will. I said I will come, so expect me to come. I said I will be there on time, so you can go to sleep knowing that I will be there on time.
Yeah.
What kind of person are you? So when you say, I don't feel my partner anymore, if you are married and you have made commitments, you now have to use your conviction to walk your way back into the place where you begin to feel your partner. Of course, this is in scenarios where it's not that there's a threat to your life or your sanity. We always have to make it clear. If it is that, the reason you're not feeling it again is that somebody's beating you blue and
black and blue,
and that there's a likelihood that you might lose an eye or a limb or your life. I beg, save yourself, right?
So the other part of this thing that I want to bring to notice, don't mind me, I like arranging things, especially when the conversation is getting sweet. I arrange it very well. So I wanted them to see you very well in the flower, so that they don't just be seeing flower. They'll see my flower. My goodness. They see my flower. So they will be seeing a perfect guy. They will see my perfect babe. My goodness. Hallelujah. Good. Okay. So what I was saying there is the fact that the other part of the flip side of the feeling is the fact that when he said, does love fade? I would answer that question to say that the feeling of love will always fade. That is why when you are getting married, especially in marriage, when you're getting married, they say, and through all the seasons of life, there are seasons in life where the feelings of love will fade, where you don't feel like you don't feel it anymore. That's what you do in those seasons are a complete course. We are bringing up a course for married people, and we will showcase it in due time. What to do when you don't feel like doing. That's the title of the course. Do you understand? Now, so those are the feelings that will come. So those feelings will happen through all the seasons of life. Just the same way a tree in Hamatan will get dry and the leaves will fall off. It doesn't mean that the tree has died. So the fact that the feeling fades doesn't mean that love has died. It just means that it's going through a season. And then you need to know what to do
to restore the feeling.
To restore the feeling.
Yes.
You need to know how to change the seasons of your relationship to go from winter or dry season back into rainy season.
You need to know how
and
to
then the thing will bloom.
and to adjust. And since you're using trees, I mean, think of conifers and how their leaves are.
Those of us that went to night school now, conifers.
And think of those plants that shed their leaf. Why are they shedding the leaf? It's a survival strategy. It's for adaptation. It's for you to be able to thrive. So I am here and I know that I'm losing all the moisture through my leaves. In this season, I will shed the leaves. And then when we have enough humidity and water and everything, I will allow the leaves to grow back, right? New leaves to grow back. So it's the same thing. When you get to those seasons where things are difficult and are trying and where it feels like the feeling is fading, what do you do? What steps do you take? What measures? So for instance, I am deliberately going to affirm you. I'm deliberately going to walk in times that we can spend together with each other. I'm deliberately going to plan a hangout, a timeout for us so we can put the pressures of life aside and talk to each other and reconnect. I'm deliberately going to ask questions to clarify so that I can understand better rather than assume that he's just trying to get on my nerves or he's not looking out for my interest and so on. So that's why you roll up your sleeves and you walk it so that the feelings come back.
Right.
Because sometimes it is a conversation that helps to bring back that connection.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is an activity that helps to restore that feeling again. So
I was just trying to get you to.
I know. I'm finished. So let's move on. Next one.
Exactly. It says you have answered this. You have answered this. Answered this. This one says, what should you do when you no longer get the attention of your partner like before? That's still in the feelings. That's still in the feelings category. When you don't get the attention of your partner like before. If he's a boyfriend, you need to be checking whether you should find another friend. If he's a husband, then you need to start getting into those deeper conversations that my wife has mentioned. When your boyfriend has a girlfriend you didn't know, but later find out, what are you advised to do? If your boyfriend has a girlfriend that you didn't know, but you later found out, what are you to do? That question has a part 2. The question is, when you find out, what did you find out? Did you find out that the girlfriend he still has it, or he had it before he met you?
And then you need to find out things like, what's the purpose? Where's each relationship going?
Yes.
Because there's a way that somebody will say, hey, she's just a friend. She's a girl, but she's just a friend.
Yes.
This relationship I have with her is just plain platonic, ordinary friendship. It's not going beyond that. I am not seeking to pursue it to the extent where she becomes my wife. The person that I am looking at, settling down with, spending the rest of my life with is you. When you define it and make it so clear, then this person who you say you want to spend the rest of your life with can now say, okay, I understand, you have explained, I am comfortable with the other relationship existing.
Yes.
Or, hey, I feel threatened for this reason and that reason. Can you make this adjustment or that adjustment? And if you are really serious about spending the rest of your life with her, then you should be willing to make the adjustments for her comfort, right? And for her convenience or for her peace. But if it is that if somebody's too timing, I'm exploring the two. Let's see which one will win.
Which one go down?
Or maybe they'll tell you, I want you to really prove that you are all that. Then I can let go of this one. I beg. Start checking. Is that what the kind of life you want? Because if you're having to prove before, after the marriage, you'll still be proving that you are a worthy spouse, so that they don't do stuff outside. So you have to, first of all, realize I am a person of value. What value do you place on yourself?
I think that first of all you said is also is both the first and is the last, because it will determine. Yes, it's the first and the final, because it will determine what exactly am I doing here. what exactly am I doing here? Boyfriend, girlfriend, where is this road going? Are we just having good time, or are we just catching cruise? Queen Debbie says, how do you trust God when he says specific promises to you and opposition is in front of you, trying to make you not to believe what God has already said to you? Oh, it's a question of faith.
Question of faith.
Question of faith. Okay. Let me take this one. Debbie, the fact is this: if God says anything to you, then by default, in fact, even if you didn't see the opposition, you should expect that you will see opposition. That's part of believing God. It's not.
In fact, there's a scripture that says the trying of your faith works
patience. Yes.
So there's a purpose.
There's a purpose for the trial for the trial of your faith. So when you see opposition, it means that you are probably on the right track. So it should help you do what? It should help you believe him a little bit more. So if believing is the problem and you are seeing opposition and it's God that has told you to do, just be going. And if God needs to turn you in another direction, I'm sure he will tell you, because
or grace to endure, or strategy to deal with
the opposition. But my point is that the opposition itself should tell you that, okay.
Yeah. And anyway, something that is good to do is, if God spoke to you, you should be willing to go back to him to get additional instruction.
I say,
and additional guidance for what to do and how to navigate.
See this thing.
Yeah.
Jimoski had to come. You heard what Jimoski said. Jimoski said, why should we get married? Can we just have a kid and live a single life? Why should we get married? Can we just have a kid and live a single life? I know the truth is, if you're asking me, can I just have a kid and live a single life?
Of course you can.
Of course you can.
But what's going to come along with
exactly that? Do you understand? So when you say, can I just have a kid and live with, in fact, anything you want to do, you can do it. You don't even need me whether I tell you to or whether I tell you not to. You can actually do it. But the question is, what exactly are you trying to create? You say, why should we get married? What's the intent? Or what's the intent behind marriage? I can go scripturally, I can go philosophically, I can go psychologically. But something that every of these different areas agreed has its roots in the Bible. Two are better than one. That's already this thing. For they have a better reward for all their labors. That's number one. So you can say, the two of us, we can just be together inside
we don't necessarily need
to be married. But just see the kind of things that we have been talking about. By the time you are together and you don't necessarily need to be married, what is keeping you together? What are the convictions? What is the reason why, if I wake up in the morning and then you say you just give me her time, what's the reason why I should come back in the afternoon? Do you understand? So there are no basis of conviction tying you to the ground.
And let me say this, okay? Sometimes people say, I don't want the burden of the agreement. I don't want the burden of just going out all legal and putting things down, right? But the fact is that the reason, a number of times, why you have to go that far is, first of all, for acknowledgement, not just for yourselves, but for everybody.
Everybody
right?
knows
know that, hey, these people are together. They are doing life together.
There's a commitment there.
Yes, and there's a lot that thing you signed means. It's not just permission to live together. It's that there's a lot. Example, if you are in trouble, who are they going to call to come and rescue you?
Ooh.
If you are in prison, who are they going to call to come and bail you? If you are sick.
In fact, to answer that question, there was a story. Remember one story that we saw where these two people were living together, right? And then the guy had an accident, and the lady brought him to the hospital, right? By the time he brought him to the hospital, when they now said, "Oh, are you his wife?" She said, "No, I'm just his partner. We're cohabiting, And then they now said, "Okay, this is what is happening to him. We can treat this, but we've discovered that he also has this complication and that complication, and so as his family would need you to take some decisions on his behalf." Do you remember? It was Grace, I think Grace Anatomy, one of those.
Medical drama.
The lady said that sorry,
sorry,
that
I can't do that.
she said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't take that level of responsibility. We're just living together. So all of a sudden, they've been together for a long time, but at the moment, at the point where a decision has to be made about his life, because he cannot make the decision for himself. She said, I'm sorry, I can give you his mother's number, call his mother to go. Suddenly, family becomes important. You know, so sometimes when you say, can we just live together? If you are not a family, you are not a family. You cannot make the decisions. So legally binding, you are not a family. You know, spiritually, you're not a family. Socially, you're not a family. It is just both of you know that. That's why you're saying you are cohabiting. Right, you're cohabiting, you're just staying together, but there's nothing keeping you together.
And the question is why. Somebody say, why do I have to? And then so you also say, why not? So there's the part where why not? Why should I? Why do I need to get married? Okay, why don't you need to get married? If because you will still need certain agreements. You will still need certain understandings. You will still need certain levels of commitment when you say we are living together. You will still have to sit down and say, okay, we will do this, we will not do this. We are working to achieve this.
I think if we tie it together, it will be like renting a house versus buying a house. Because when you rent the house, it's not your own. So you can decide. I'm just living in it for a while. By the end of the month,
I cannot renew.
Yes, by the end of the month, my rent will this. I don't want to renew. I move into the next house. I don't want to renew. I move into the next house each month. So if each month he's bringing another babe, and you are hanging around another babe, you will come and be asking him, why don't you?
What would be the basis for you to challenge anything?
Anything, because he's renting a house.
Really, like we said, everybody has free will.
Yeah.
You can do what you want, but with any position you take, there are consequences
attached.
And it's now for you to say, which one do I want? So if you decide, and the fact is, a number of people have said, this is what I want. I don't want the marriage. I want to live with this person, have children with them, and so on. There are many people like that. And whatever consequences come along with it, they live with. So take responsibility for the consequence of your choice.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's as simple as that. It's not nobody's forcing anybody to do anything.
That brings us to the next question. That Victoria Damilola says, is marriage a choice, a must, or a decision? That one is objective. It's objective. So I just answered the last question. It's a decision.
Exactly.
Marriage is a decision. It's not a must. It's not by force that you must marry. All those reverend fathers, I have a few of them that are my friends. They are very good guys, and they're not marrying. So they are very.
I mean, there's the argument that if you don't get married, for instance, and you can actually free up yourself to live a life of service to God
humanity.
And humanity. Do you understand? You can really focus on going all out. In fact, you can decide, I'm going to live in church and nobody's going to complain. Oh, wow. You can decide, I'm going to spend my time like some of the people that we know in the Bible who were just there praying for different things. You can say, for instance, I'm taking up a burden for Nigeria. I will spend my
no woman will come and distract you.
Nobody will distract
you.
I'll spend my entire days fasting, praying. In fact, to show how committed you are, you can even decide, I will not bath, I will not use deodorant, I will not, I will. And
nobody will disturb you.
Nobody will disturb
you.
Because or you can say, every money that I have, that I would have used in paying school fees,
it's mine,
and stuff like that, will just be giving it to the poor. You can do so much. So really, it's a decision. If you don't want to, don't. If you want to, do.
So
it's a decision.
Our job really is that if you don't want to, don't. If you want to, we can show you how to enjoy it.
How to do it right.
How to do it right. But don't come and enter marriage and
say you were forced.
And say you were forced. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'll just vex, but we're on stage. So let me just keep my face straight.
Yeah.
Next one. The next one, it says, why do we keep having single mothers and broken home these days? There's an answer I want to give that I got from someone, not to this question, but it was a question about relationships and why we have so many broken relationships and broken marriages these days. And the person summed it up in this, that every marriage that ends is a product of something that the people in the marriage did not know. Every marriage, every relationship is a product of something that you did not know, either about yourself or about the person that you're in the relationship with,
or about the situation,
or about the
handle it.
situation, or about how to handle it. That's how we come up with all of these irreconcilable differences. That's the simple answer to that question. So it's not that the person that you married is a bad person. You can successfully marry. Let me just keep quiet. But I was actually going to say that actually there's no bad person. Let me put it that way. There's no bad person. There's no good person in a marriage. There are two imperfect people that have different orientations that are doing what? That come together to try to make the best out of humanity, out of their experience. So if you say, oh, I couldn't marry him because he's a bad person, no, there's something you did not know. Meaning, in psychology, we would say everything is data, and the data is based on the meaning that you give to it.
And sometimes, you can actually adjust it to say, I couldn't marry him because he was not the right fit for me. Because really, that person you're calling bad,
He's perfect for another person.
For instance, let's just say, okay, you are saying he drinks, he smokes, he this, he that. Do you understand? And because of that, you can't marry him. Maybe because you don't do those things. Another person is saying, wow, we smoke together, we drink together. In fact, you should see how we fill the room with smoke. It's amazing. He's just such a glory.
The glory when we come together, we create glory.
You are saying, oh my goodness, do you know this guy kills people, or this woman kills people? And then the other person is saying, see how we deal with anybody who tries us together. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So your terrible might be another person's perfect. So so the question was saying broken homes and stuff like that. People have issues. How you deal with it can result in this, right? People have challenges. One person may say, I'm going to work it out. I'm going to try to resolve this issue. Another person will say, you know what, I've had it. I don't have the patience for this rubbish. I'm getting out of here now.
And just to
once again, decisions,
right? Just to Isonguyo Colonel Udo. You know him. We celebrate you. I just saw the name and I knew I've not seen his name for
sorry that some people have scattered.
I didn't get it back.
Don't try again.
Okay. I wanted to help you so that on set I can help you so that the name is. But let's just stick with Cornell. Yeah, that's fine. Yes, he said great wisdom here. I'm enjoying it. Jimoski gave an addendum to his question. He said, if we should get married, why is divorce now more common than getting married? The truth is, it seems it's more common because it's louder, right? The bad news sells more than good news. And the truth is, people that are enjoying their marriage are not all going. They are not all going on social media to tell you they're enjoying their marriage. But the ones that are having problems are the ones that you mostly see on social media. And bad news sells, right? For example, when I post how I love my wife, you just see 100 likes. But when I post, can you imagine what she did to me? I didn't even tell you what this thing is, so you see 1,000 likes. I mean, why are you people like this? It's the life that we are living, So, but to assume that because of the presence of divorce, it makes marriage. It means that marriages are not working. Is to say that because the Ukraine war and all the news of war going all around us is so loud, it means that people are not living in peace. It means that even in this country, we are all
there's war everywhere.
There's war everywhere. But it's loud. It's what is in. It's what is in the airwaves. Doesn't mean it is what is everywhere.
See, let's just talk about perspectives.
Yeah.
You know how some people say, that to be a man, right, is to like have plenty women, you can change them anyhow you want and so on. Another person comes along and says, no, that's not being a man. To be a man is to be able to find a wonderful woman and she's all yours, just you. Do you understand?
Perspective, man.
Perspective.
Talk to me, man.
Another person says, "Oh, the way you show that you are affluent is to have so many women." Then you now see a very affluent person who comes along and says, "Oh, by the way, if you want your net worth to skyrocket, if you want peace and stability, if you want an enabling environment that allows you to be more productive, get married to one woman." Because first of all, she's not coming to take. She's not coming take care of me. She's coming for let's build something together.
Tell me, mommy.
Let's leave a legacy.
Preach.
Do you understand? And for that reason, she's there. She's behind you. She's supporting you. You come back. You had a bad day. She comforts you. She hugs you. She tells you, does everything to make you get back up. While another person, you have a bad day, you come and talk and they say, "Oh my goodness, you're such a failure." Okay. But, so this is just about perspectives. So what's your reality? What are you looking for? It's really up to you. And if you decide to follow this school of thought, that's you. If you decide to go the other way, still you. Yep.
Ugo. Ugo is on set today.
Ugo.
We celebrate you. It's been a while, Ugo. How far? Where you? He's a busy man. Containers on a high sea. Do you understand, Ugo? We celebrate you. We celebrate you. Please carry us along. Carry us along. They've removed subsidy now. A lot of things have just been removed. So if there's somewhere you are finding this subsidy, please you go carry us along. Ugo said, as a psychologist, I have come across people who just feel something, and because they feel so, it becomes real. That is a psychological problem. Talk to me, Daddy. You say more than 80% of human feelings are a mirage, a kind or silhouette. If you don't understand what that is in English, it's just like shadows. Smoke screen, like shadows.
Mirage,
appearing real. Yeah. There's a question here from Modupsi Billy. I'm guessing that may be Modupe, but it says, how do you know a guy loves you? How do you know a guy loves you? Billy, carry notes, carry pen and paper.
Are you answering the question?
Should I answer or you
answer? From a guy's perspective, because if I talk now, people say, "Oh, ladies, we're all in the same boat," all of us are confused. But if you guys, if people love a lady, what will you do? Or what is it about? Please share.
Okay. So Billy, how do you know a guy loves you? Are you looking into my eyes? I'm trying to be serious right now. Number one, when you are there, how does he behave? Number two, when you are not there, how does he behave? I'm just giving you things that you can see practically. When you are there, he always wants to be there. When you are not there, he always wants to be there. He wants to be around you. He wants to be with you. He wants to engage you. Now, these are just signs that tells you this guy is into me. You understand? So that's what it means by the guy is into me. When you are there, he's around you. When you are not there, he wants to be with you. Do you understand? Those communications tell you the guy is into me. That's level one. Level two. How does this guy respond to the things that matter to you? Do you understand? How does he respond to the things that matter to you? When you speak about your dreams or your aspirations, what are his responses? I'm telling you about a guy that loves you. I'm not talking about a guy that wants to catch cruise. Because love cannot happen without conviction. And if a guy is convinced about you, there are certain things that he's looking at, whether it is socially, whether it is materially, whether it is emotionally, whether it is physically. There are certain things he's convinced about. Certain things. So step one, if he's convinced about your looks, it means that the guy already appreciates what he's seeing. You have passed. Step two, he's emotionally, is he convinced about you emotionally? Does he want to be with you? When you're around, do you feel like a weight, or do you feel like he should wait?
Please say that again.
Do you feel like a wait,
Mm.
or do you feel like he should wait? Because if he's convinced about you, he's willing to wait.
Mm.
But if he's not convinced about you, it will be as if you are the one. You are like a burden that he's carrying. So it will just be
Do. Hurry up. Let's
just
do so that he can move on to the
he
next
can move on to the next one. Do you understand?
Mm.
Where have I touched
You've mentioned
mentioned social? Let's materially.
Mm.
Materially, a guy that loves you, if he can afford it, he would want to either do things to you, do things for you. He would do things for you that makes you know that he's around. Now, if his love language is giving of gifts, he will shower you with gifts because that's the way he feels that he wants to express.
Yes.
But if he's more knowledgeable, he would find out your love language, and trust me, he will exploit it. As in, he would want to make sure that you are not looking for any other place to get what it is you really need.
Someone will say he will fill your love tank.
He will fill your love tank.
Yeah. So, and the tank, it depends. If you go and put water inside place where you're supposed to put petrol. It's not working.
So you see, so these are some of the things that let you know. So for a guy that loves you, because you understand the different love languages, the person will be trying to understand you. The person will be trying to get to know you more.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Know you more, experience you, get to know you, understand you, what makes you tick, what makes you excited, what you understand. There's joy in discovering more about you. Right?
And let me give you this other one. My personal opinion. But you can take it to the bank. If the guy really loves you, he's not in a hurry to jump into your pants. I leave it like that.
Okay, the next question. Interesting.
Pastor Robert, he said, I have a question for the faculty. Pastor Robert,
Go ahead, sir.
Ask the question, but as a member, as a presiding member, as the presiding board, just in case you guys don't know, Pastor Robert was the pastor that joined us in marriage.
Yes.
So as a presiding board, this 15, 16 years ago, as a presiding board, if you ask the question, if we can't answer it, you are here. Exactly. So please, people should respect. Give Pastor Robert thumbs up. We respect him. He's not he's a very humble man, but he's a large man.
Yes.
We celebrate you, sir. Please ask the question by all means. But if we can't answer it, as your boys, just help us. Just generally help us. Oh my goodness. He says, when God already saw you, your life partner, and that person is not your kind of guy, what do you do? No, God is not involved. It's not. Let me read it well. Let me try to read it well. Let me try to read it well before I break the table that it is standing on. When God already show you your life partner, and that person is not your kind of guy, what do you do? Baby, just so that I will not get upset. Just so that, because there's a way it's doing me. But let me be calming down. Answer the question.
When God already showed you your life partner, and then the person is not your kind of person. God is not the author of confusion.
Bam.
He will not come on. He will not come and bring somebody and say this is the person you're going to marry. Meanwhile, the person is not your kind of guy. Is God trying to make you live the rest of your life in misery, in frustration?
Yes.
Is God trying to create perfect conditions for you to commit adultery and so on and so forth? God is not the author of confusion.
Yes.
And then this thing that people do, some people will say, is God that told me? And then 2 weeks from now or 4 months from now, they now say that God has told them another person. Please, guys, let's stop doing what will now make God look like he's not sure of himself.
Hi.
Do you understand? So before you come and start proclaiming that it is God that said, show us the track record of other things that God has said, and they happened that way for us to know that yes, there's an established relationship here, tested and trusted,
Bam.
that this is the way he speaks to you, and each time it comes to pass, then we can say, okay, yes, maybe on this case, truly God said. But unfortunately, when it comes to this issue of marriage, that's when people start trying to learn work. All along, you have not been asking God to tell you anything.
You have not been.
He's not the one who chose the course you're studying.
Okay.
He's not the one who told you the house to live in.
Okay.
When you got your job, it was based on the salary that you decided which house to rent.
To rent.
But
Good.
when it comes to marriage, all of a sudden,
God needs to now start speaking.
God said, you've not done practice, you've not done homework, you have not gotten to 10,000 hours of learning to hear from God in this particular way. You want to now use marriage as an example.
At least let God.
How will you be sure?
Let God first be telling you which shirt to wear.
How will you be sure that it is him? How are you sure it's not yourself? How are you sure it's not your emotion? How are you sure it's not the devil? How are you sure it's not your neighbor that happened to call somebody's name when you were dreaming that night and you thought that it was God?
How are you sure it's not even your pastor?
How are you sure it's not? Do you understand? So this issue of God said, please, and some people use it even to try to force people
to manipulate people into a relationship. You
can meet some.
That's why the thing they pain me.
And tell the person that God said you are my wife, or God said you are my husband. And some of them, because they really want to obey God, right? They now give in to the relationship,
and they start feeling bad.
Even when they had no, as in you're not their kind of person at all. But they're like, but he said, God said. Oh, but she said, God said. What is that? Even if God said, you have to still do your homework of getting this person to get to know you and get to appreciate you and get to love you. And see, God does not force people to do anything. If he was forcing people to do stuff, by now, all of us in this world will be followers of Christ. Everybody, or of God, everybody in this world will believe that there will be no atheists in the world. But you see, God allows people free will. So if he cannot force us to serve him, if he does not, he can, but he chooses not to. If he does not force us to serve him, why would he now be forcing us to marry somebody? Just help me understand that. If he's not forcing you to follow him, why will he now force you to follow a man? Or follow a woman? Ask yourself this question.
It's a following something.
Yeah, because I don't understand it. So please, people don't be doing that thing. God is not the author of confusion or an author of confusion. So yes, where were we? What defines Abolade?
Abolade Yunus.
Yes, Abolade Yunus says, what defines a true relationship? Abolade, a relationship is when two people are relating.
No, you can't do that. That's my line. That's my you cannot do that.
As long as two people are relating in whatever community is a relationship, right? You now have to define what type it is, right? And then if you say, okay, let's say in this context of between a guy, a lady heading towards marriage and stuff like that, okay, you have to define: is it friendship? Is it acquaintanceship? Is it has it reached the part of courtship and so on, or are you guys married, right?
Yes.
Now you're asking which one is a true relationship. If you're talking about truth, you people have to define what is true, because what you are saying is true
may not be true to somebody.
You may be saying this relationship is true because you may be saying, I am committed to this person. I am giving my all into this relationship, and for that reason, you say it's true. But how about the other person? Are they also committed? Are they also giving their all? So when you say true is like there's a lot of ambiguity in that true. Anybody can put anything inside true. But what I would say, if you're saying I want to know, for instance, if the relationship is true, then I take it to the next level for something like marriage. It's for you to test. Don't assume. Test. Check different things. Is this person committed to me? Are we heading in the same direction? Does this person believe what I believe? If we come together, will it be peace or will it be trouble? Will it be chaos? Will it be fight? Will it be death in some cases? Right? You have to check. You have to test all of those things. And then after you have done all the checks, and then you have employed all the arsenal you have, whether it is asking counselors, talking to mentors, praying for guidance, all of that put together, you come to the place where you make a decision concerning that relationship.
Yeah.
Do we go forward?
Or do we go?
Do we pause and check more things, or do we go our separate ways? Please.
You know, it's very interesting.
Mm.
It's very interesting that you say it the way you say it. You know, you said I was looking up while you were talking, so that if you are talking like me, let me also talk like you. So they will really think that they will not think I don't know book. Why a relationship is the way in which two or more people or things are connected. Yes. So, like you said, that they are relating. So there must be a point of connection.
Yeah.
Now, that point of connection defines the purpose for which they are connected.
Yeah.
So when you bring the truism now comes in at the point where the purpose of the both parties in the connection are aligned.
And where the what shall I put it now?
Connection.
I want to say where there is honesty in what is being expressed. So, for instance, some people do background checks, security checks when they want to security checks when they want to employ somebody, right? And then some people, before you commit a certain assignment to someone, maybe in the corporate setting or somewhere in your business, you check certain things. Can this guy handle it? Is this person worthy? Is what you do tests, you do checks, and then based on what you find, you decide, yes, I'm promoting this guy. Yes, this person can become a partner in the firm, and so on. But when it comes to relationships, I don't know why people feel like it is not right, or it's not so good for you to be doing that. Why are you screening people? Why are you putting people to the test? If you really love somebody, you'll accept them the way they are. Oh, really? Oh, really? When you now get into the marriage and the person starts manifesting for you, you'll now be saying, oh, this is not what I was hoping for. He's not the person I married. Did you test? Did you check? Do you understand? So, please, don't, when it comes to this love thing, don't just be all sentimental and all emotional. Also be rational. Also be objective. Use the same brain that this God gave you. Use it.
That you are using in the office and in other places.
Use it in your relationship.
Use it in your relationships. I was going to speak to something. Maybe that's what I will use to close.
Okay.
Which is because we are on because we're on the issue of true relationships.
4 minutes past 9.
It's not my portion. Not my portion. Baby, I was saying something. We'll close now.
Okay.
We'll close now. And it was because we started because of those technical issues at the beginning. Anyway, you see, but I was going to close with this, which is based on the issue of true relationship, which is why, and which also begs the question why a number of singles are probably thinking, maybe I don't need to get into marriage or whatever. And the question is, why are people afraid to commit to a relationship? Now, a true relationship requires that there's a connection. A connection requires that there's a commitment. A commitment actually means that you are in and you're locked. So why are people afraid to get in and get locked?
Because they're not sure. But maybe that's one of the reasons. They're not sure.
One.
What am I going to find when I get in there?
Yes.
What if this person turns around to be this or that?
That's the second one.
Uncertainty.
So there's the fear of the unknown. There's the fear of inadequacy.
Am I myself
good enough? Can I? So sometimes we project it as if it's no, there are no good girls. But the question is, if you see a good girl, can you handle her? Can you handle her? There's a course that I'm developing for that man. Is a course on the title. I will not give the title away. But what it is really is how to help guys get any lady they want. You're looking at me, but you can get the lady of your dreams. It doesn't matter. As a guy, you can get the lady of your dreams, right? The question now is, can you handle her? That's one of the fears, which is the fear of inadequacy. But we project it as if there's no good lady. There are good ladies out there, and they need good guys that are sure of themselves and are able to do what? And are able to handle them. So my job is to teach you how. Let's be going.
Okay.
There's also the fear of lack. There's also the fear of loneliness. There are a number of these fears.
What will happen
But
if I fall upon her?
yes. Do you
What will
understand?
happen if I lose my job?
Yes. Do you understand? So there's a final question by
Yes.
Pastor Rehoboth.
Okay.
This is the question. It's about we'll close with this question.
Okay.
Some senior apostles have thrown this riddle to me. A sister who is advanced in age and isn't married decided to do artificial insemination to get pregnant. Her reason was because menopause is very close by. Her church flagged the issue and she insisted that at menopause, she won't be able to have a child anymore. Her church is protesting. What should have been a better pathway to be taken? Is the church right? This is a very good question, and I like it, right? The question of the rightness of the church determines us to ask the question, what is the basis for which we can say the church is right? Because in this scenario, the church is using a different yardstick and the lady is using a different yardstick. So we cannot find a basis upon which one is either right or wrong. Why? The church is using the basis of their doctrine to determine, based on our doctrine, this is not right.
She's using the basis of her
biology. She's using the basis of her biology to say, based on my biology, I am right. So the question of right or wrong in this scenario, we will need to find out which yardstick. Because if you use the yardstick of the doctrine of the church, the lady is wrong.
And if you
use the yardstick of her biology, the church is wrong.
And if you were being practical, like the lady will say, okay, will you people find me the husband now? So that I will not reach that age. You cannot find the husband. Okay, all right.
So if you cannot find the husband, are you saying that it is my cross now
to go childless?
If
it is acceptable to adopt a child,
yes,
that is by another man, another woman, that's part of the argument.
Yes, but
why shouldn't I be able to have a child with my own egg, in quotes, and another person's sperm? What is the problem? It's not as if you are having sex with the man. Do you understand? It is that there is artificial insemination. And if we can allow medical practices to address other issues, why is the challenge here? Okay, so I'll let you answer it now.
No. But Baby, your practical mind is very practical in this scenario. In this scenario, another concept. This is the question now. I want to ask. I just want to throw it into this whole equation. If the church was present the time Mary, the mother of Jesus, came and told us that she was
that particular church, right?
In that particular church was when Mary came and told us that she's pregnant by the Holy Ghost and it is a Messiah. What would have happened? So now the church knows that it is artificial insemination. What if she woke up in the morning and told the church, see, guys, I went to sleep yesterday. I was a woman, a single woman. And I woke up this morning and I woke up 3 weeks later, I can't find my child. I've not known a man. And now I am with child. Pastor, this is a miracle from the Lord. What shall I do? Can you see the perspectives? So the perspectives are there. And so if you want to evaluate it based on the doctrine of the church, you are going to get a different result from based on the doctrine of biology or the doctrine of life in which that this woman is in. Now, let me throw another question into the mix. Does God reject her because she did artificial insemination? If the artificial insemination works, you know that science only aids the will of God. Science cannot create babies because there are same people that have done the same artificial insemination and the babies do not come. guess what? When the process of science is done, the baby that will come will not be a man-made baby. It's a baby that is given by God, isn't it? So does God approve of it, or does God disapprove of it? These are questions to be answered. If God approves of it, why is the church against it? If God disapproves, why is there a baby? Because he could have not allowed the baby to come.
That's a funny way to put it.
Do you understand? Because he's the one that gives children. So children are a gift from the Lord. He gives. And if he doesn't give, science cannot manufacture children.
So in this case, what should the woman do?
What should the woman do? She needs to come and see me in my professional practice. I will give her a professional response.
Okay.
Do you understand? I'll give her a professional response. And this matter will be sorted.
Yes,
quickly.
but what I gather from all you have said is that it is a very complex case because of the different ideologies and strong beliefs held by both parties.
Yes.
On the side of her church and on her side. And everybody has a point. The church has a point on their doctrine. She has a point on her biology.
And the truth is, as complex as this issue is, as far as I'm concerned, the solution is simple.
Okay.
Solution is very simple. And the church needs to just help me answer the questions I've asked. Because all I did is just borrow some leaves from Jesus, the way he sent the questions to the Pharisees. You understand? So if you answer those questions, however you answer those questions, you begin to see, because you also begin to ask the question, does the church approve of technology? Or is technology seen as a delimiter or a
Well, if you do that one, then we'll stop using mic now and speaker and lights and all the other gadgets that we use to enhance our worship experience.
In which case,
and so on and so forth. So you don't even need to go far with that question. Anyway, it is time to wrap this up. That Pastor Rehoboth, thank you very much.
Yes, Pastor Rehoboth, exactly what you are saying. He said we need to begin to factor technological advances into our church doctrine. Pastor, you know, Pastor Rehoboth, you know the answer now. You know what I'm saying. You can hear me loud and clear. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. So we have to begin to ask those questions. And then begin to look at our doctrine and when the doctrines were written. For whom were they written? Because doctrines are nothing but the methods of men.
Yes, and there's the whole thing about purpose. What's the end game? And how do you get there? Sometimes we get stuck on methods. But then there are different paths to get to that answer. The issue is the path that you have chosen.
Does it get us?
Apart from getting us there, is it lawful? Is it right? Is it
Maybe.
Yeah. So
truly, the concept of right, they need to look at it again. What they said, what they are defining right by.
Yeah, because what is right for that woman is that she has her baby.
Yes.
What's right for her is that she doesn't grow old
alone. It doesn't grow old alone.
And so on and so forth.
And okay. by the way, just for the record, if she invites me to come and name her baby, I will be there. Because if the Lord has given the baby, I will be there to name the baby. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter how it came, whether technologically or miraculously. I'll be there.
All right, everyone. It has been fantastic on today's episode of Common Sense for Relationships. You can see the easy questions, the tough questions, the complicated questions, the funny questions. Everything was on the table today. Thank you so much for really engaging. It was really beautiful to see. Thank you so much. And thank you to Pastor Rehoboth for throwing in that final answer.
One. Yes.
I appreciate my wonderful husband, Kingsley Bature, and everyone else who joined us today. Okay, so at this point, we remind you all that you should subscribe if you haven't. Share the post.
Please share. As we are ending this now, just be sharing on WhatsApp, be sharing on Facebook, be sharing, and just subscribe. Subscribe. You know the course.
Yes,
They don't used to pay.
Common sense.
Sense is not
so
so
common.
common. Bye.
Thank you once again for joining us. We hope you got great value today. Our goal is to bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your life and relationships. Please do not forget to subscribe, share, and like.
Melody says, thank you for sharing from